This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, I know you've been waiting for 2 weeks to hear Imponderables. It's been hard to sleep at night. So, Baruch Hashem, tonight you'll be able to get a good night's sleep with some good Imponderables. Parak Yud, Pasuk Daled. So, Nadav and Avihu, they expired because they brought an Eish Zara. And now you have these, you have two bodies laying in the Mishkan. So Moshe Rabbeinu calls the following individuals to carry away the bodies. The uncle of Aaron was Uziel, because Amram had a brother, Uziel. And their children were Mishael and El-Safan, and they were called upon to remove the bodies. So here's my question: why them? They had a body removal business. Moshe Rabbeinu Googled, who could remove bodies? Let's call Mishael and El-Safan. Now, obviously, he wasn't going to call Kaihanim, right? And maybe he wanted to keep it in the family. But Amram, there were 4 brothers in the family. Who is the oldest brother? Amram was the oldest, I believe, followed by Yitzhar. So why didn't we call the Bnei Yitzhar? Now it's interesting. Who are the Bnei Yitzhar? The Bnei Yitzhar are Kairach. So okay, I can understand. Maybe you don't want to call Kairach. Maybe already then there was some Moshe Rabbeinu had some kind of intuition not to call Kairach. But it's interesting. We have Bnei Kas, Amram, Yitzhar, Chevron, Uziel. So, okay, you don't want to call Bnei Yitzhar Kairach, fine. But why did they call Bnei Uziel? It's interesting. I would have called the Bnei Yitzhar. They're the oldest. So you say, Kairach was the oldest. He didn't want to call Kairach. Once he didn't want to call Kairach, he didn't call Nefeg and Zichri. So, you want to. So why didn't he call Bnei Chevron? You want to hear something interesting? I thought of. If you look in Parshas Va'era, the Torah gives you the descendants of Yitzhar, Kairach, Nefeg, and Zichri, and the Torah doesn't give you the descendants of Chevron. Did Chevron have descendants? It's interesting. No descendants are giving on Chevron. Well, maybe that's part of the answer here. Doesn't want to call the descendants of Yitzhar. That's Kairach. And it would be embarrassing maybe to Kairach to call his younger brother. Chevron, we don't know about their descendants, and Uziel was the next in line. But I think it's worthy of our attention. Why is Moshe Rabbeinu calling Mishael and El-Safan? Okay. Next. We have this double trup here. Kervu. What exactly is the meaning of this double trup? By the way, the Masoretic note indicates first you do the Gershaim and then the Trisha Gedoyla. I don't remember offhand. If I'm not mistaken, Rav Chaim Kanievsky in the time of the Kra explains the significance of it. We may even have given a shiur on it once. But Pasha Pshat, what is the reason for these 2 trup? Then one more inyan to think about at the end of the Parsha, Perek Yud Aleph, Pasuk Mem Gimel. V'nitmei sembam. Rashi says, if you're going to contaminate yourself with creepy crawling things in this world, af ani metame eschem ba'olam haba uvi yeshiva shalmala. Now, what exactly is the difference between olam haba and yeshiva shalmala? Are those 2 different places? Are those 2 different times? Is Olam Haba different than the Yeshiva Shalmala? Then, the next pasuk, Rashi says, I will sanctify you. The pasuk says, Ki ani Hashem Elokeichem v'eskadishtem v'yisem kedoshim. Because I will sanctify you lemala u'ba'olam haba. Now, what's lemala? Is lemala not olam haba? Is that Yeshiva Shalmala? Is the Lamala referring to the Yeshiva Shalmala? So, presumably Lamala is just an abbreviated way of saying Yeshiva Shalmala. Even though I would have said that if lamala does not refer to yeshiva shamala, then we know that a person's neshama is the smallest part of the neshama, the lowest part of the neshama is currently in one's body. But even right now, the majority of one's neshama is upstairs, tachas kisei hakavod. I wouldn't say it's in olam haba, but it's lamala. So when a person contaminates himself with non-kosher food, then God says He's going to either be metame the person's entity lamala, but that's not necessarily yeshiva shamala. So are there three places? Is there yeshiva shamala, olam haba, and lamala, or is lamala an abridged way of saying olam haba, yeshiva shamala? If it's an abridged way of saying yeshiva shamala, then why is it out of order? Why does Rashi first say ba'olam haba uvi yeshiva shamala, and here Rashi says akadesh eschem lamala uva olam haba? Why does Rashi flip it around? Okay, those are just some questions on the Parsha. Last year we started learning Pirkei Avos with Rabbeinu Yonah. We're going to continue where we left off. Everybody's invited to join us. We're up to Parak Aleph Mishnah Yadalad.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.